A lot of people ask me how I got into this business. And then one day, I got a hold of this guy named Victor. Now, Victor had been in the business since he was my age, 25, and now here he is 75 years old, so he had 50 years of knowledge. And he kind of took me under his wing. And for a period of time, my brother and I would go out every single night for Victor, and we would clean different restaurants in town. There's a place called Shanahan's in Vancouver. We spent every night there. We did Jake's Crawfish down in Portland. We did the Heathman. And all night long, we would just show up at like midnight and we'd work till 8 in the morning. And we'd do it every single night. And that's really where I got my start. And since that time, I've broken down my business into different parts, and I've really studied and focused on each area the best I could. And I took a long time really studying floor care, for example. And I got a job at one of the largest janitorial companies in the city. They have the contracts with the big hospitals. And I would work with them, and we'd go from room to room, stripping and waxing floors. And I really focused on what are the right tools, what are the right techniques. When I left that job, I tried to do it on my own with Grime Time, and I was having a lot of trouble on job sites. I was encountering weird floor types that I'd never seen, and sometimes I couldn't get the wax off the floor, and it was just turning into a big mess sometimes. And so I went out and I found out that that big company got all their training material from these different industry associations. So I became a member of those associations, and I started buying the same training materials that that big company used. I would go to the janitorial supply store where I had a couple of friends, and they would show me different products to use, different scrubbing pads, different chemicals, different floor sealers. One of the next things I did was I got books on every single aspect of the business. So right here, actually, this is a book I've actually really been enjoying, and it's pretty nerdy to talk about. It's basically a textbook, but it goes into every single detail about cleaning a building. This is a big, huge book. For example, it talks about every single light fixture. And it talks about how to clean them and what these light fixtures are made out of. It goes into all the different toilet paper and paper towel dispensers that your building could have. It goes into every single janitorial cart type and how to use them and what the benefits are. It goes into how to clean a building. Where do you start? Where do you stop? What tasks do you do first? How do you clean a large building with causing as little fatigue as possible? And how do you keep your staff happy? It goes into all the different checklists that you need, how to hire people, how to mentor people, how to coach them, how to move them along if the job's not right for them. And I've got a bunch of books like this in my library, and I study them and I read them just for fun at night. And I know it's lame and it's weird, but this is my business, this is my life, and I love this industry. And I love taking care of these old buildings, so I've spent a lot of time really trying to be the best professional that I can. Now when we go into these buildings, we can go into these old dirty kitchens, scrub everything from the ceilings to the walls to the floors, make it look perfect in a very short period of time because I've studied how to do this exactly. And even when I'm working with new team members that don't have a lot of skill and experience, I can train them very rapidly because I spent a lot of time trying to build a team and become a leader. And I've done a lot of this by trial and error, and also by reading a ton of leadership books, watching a ton of lectures, and then just talking to other people in the community that run bigger businesses than me and asking them how they handle certain situations. And I really feel like lately I've been getting to the point where I'm finding high quality people. I know exactly the characteristics I'm looking for. I know the ones that I want to avoid, and I can weed them out very quickly. One thing I really like about cleaning these buildings is no matter how hard you work and no matter where you look and you find filth, there's always something to be discovered. There's always going to be a little problem over here, over there. You'll clean a building, it'll be immaculate, and then you move a garbage can, all of a sudden you'll notice there's something hidden on the wall behind the garbage can that was there the whole time. This reminds me of us, of people. No matter how much we work on ourselves, there's always something to be discovered, always something to work on. And sometimes it can be frustrating because there's always little issues and we're never quite perfect. And as soon as we think that we have something perfected, something else starts falling apart elsewhere in our lives. That's what I really enjoy about running a business. No matter how much I learn about running a business, there's always new things to encounter, new struggles that I'm trying to overcome. And I feel like I get to do that every day with Grime Time.